Welcome, Magnus Olsson, again to Witte TV. We have done a lot of interviews with you, and the first one is very popular. We made it in March 2011, and I think it spread about 50,000 times. It's difficult to count because other people loaded it up on YouTube. We started to have it on Vimeo. And it's not always that you can rely on the numbers from YouTube and Vimeo, I figured out. If there's information the establishment don't like, they screw down the numbers, the figures.
Yeah, obviously they do so. Yeah. Thank you very much for being here with you.
And today we have a special occasion because it's now almost 1 year that we have tested a method to shield against mind control. For those who don't know who you are a so-called targeted individual. That means a person who is suffering from a kind of radiation which was quite unknown until recently, and you heard voices in your skull, and they put a little chip into your body, and they can cause you pain in every part of your body they want. They can read your thoughts, your mind. They can pick up memories and so on. And we started in 2011 on Witte TV to make a campaign against mind control, Reclaim Your Brain, we called it. And then in the summer 2011 we got a hint here from Sweden that it's scalar waves they use. And therefore our first step was to find scalar wave devices that shield against this radiation. And we found the Q-Wave company in the United States. They had devices, 40 eyes, working, beaming out scalar waves and shielding in that way. But the problem was it only had some days, and then the perpetrators figured out to go around that.
Yeah.
What was it? The Q-Wave Defender, they called it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then had the tabletop defender, a huge one, which made it more strong in adaptation to that, but that didn't help either totally.
No.
And then I got in Germany in the end of 2012 a hint: gold is shielding against mind control. My first thought was, okay, gold, that is very expensive, a helmet with gold. Everybody knows this expression, tin-foiled hats, because the poor TIs, the first thing they do, they think it is electromagnetic waves, and they make kind of foiled hats and foiled rooms to shield against the radiation. But that is not helping, because they don't use electromagnetic waves, they use scalar waves, and those penetrate everything. So you can't shield in that way. Perhaps a helmet with full gold would shield, we don't know, but nobody has the means, the money to pay for it, because the first things the perpetrators is mostly Secret Services, is to strip money off the guys. You had been a very wealthy guy, you built up your own company in bed production, and were a millionaire, and the first thing they did, they crashed your company and stripped you of all your money. So this is not a good idea to build a helmet in gold. But then I found out if you take gold in homeopathic way, then it is very cheap, and you have gold as well. And for those who don't know what homeopathy is, it is a German method founded from Hahnemann in the 18th century already, where you take a metal or a plant and take an extract from that and make it very, very thin. You wash it out, and finally there are no chemical substances left. It is only frequency patterns which are left. And those frequency patterns are interesting because our whole body is a vibrating entity, is a hologram. And therefore you can make changes in the body by frequencies. And it's exactly this kind of technology they use. They don't beam molecules or chemical substances into your brain.
No.
They beam scalar waves.
Yeah.
Waves is physics, not chemical. And therefore we started to test out homeopathic gold when I, in February 2013, was down in Germany. I bought it because you must not fly with homeopathic remedies. They can get destroyed from the radiation in big altitudes when you fly high. So I took it in by car and found out later you can buy it in Sweden and you can buy it in the United States. So always it's not a problem to buy homeopathic gold. And the expression for the homeopathic gold is aurum metallicum. That is two Latin words which means gold medal. Aurum metallicum. And in the homeopathic world they have different levels how much they thinned it out. The D12, for example, there are still some molecules. I think it's up to D30, and then there are no molecules left. Then it is only vibration patterns. And we started, I think, with D12, D30 and C100. C is a higher potency, which I took to you from Germany.
Yeah.
We started with the lowest one only.
Yeah.
And what was your impression? What was the result of the first bottle you tested?
Well, in the beginning, I discovered that after taking the gold, I discovered that I felt more normal, so to speak. The vibration or the frequencies that they are using with the carrier of magnetic and electric scalar waves. They couldn't reach me and make me weak in the same manner as they are used to, because you have like a mood caster or a psycho design that is always pressuring your mind down, and you get weak, you get very weak, and then when they use the pinpoint, the overstimuli, it didn't have the same effects like it had before. So it was for sure doing quite a lot for me, even in the beginning. But it's very important to take this every morning and every night. And later on, I tried to mix.
How much do you take every morning? And every night?
I take 6 small balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I take 6 of the D30, and then I had the D12, I had the D200 as well. What I then tried out was to mix them together. So I mixed the D30 and the D12, and I discovered that it even went even stronger for the better side of my mind and my thoughts and my whole being. It was for sure doing quite a lot for me. So I think that the goal is very important for TIs to try it out, and you shouldn't give it up, because it can take some time before it has the full effect. But for sure you will discover a difference.
Yes. I recommend it always. I get every day one email or telephone call or post letter from some poor TI around the world asking if I could help, and now I'm very proud and happy to be able to give an advice that was not possible earlier. This technology is 60 years old, and we never had a real to shield. And this is not a medical advice, this is a technical advice, because those guys, the TIs, are not sick. they are victim of technology. That is a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference. And I would like to thank you, Henning, from all the TI communities around the world, because your work is fantastic and it's really brilliant work you're doing. And we are for sure discovering new things to shield, but not for now. The gold is for sure working out. So it's very important to try it and get it, and you should have the D200, the D30, and if you can get in hold of some C potencies, it's also very, very good.
Yeah, I now have feedback from about 30 TIs throughout the world, which got my advice. I perhaps gave it to about 100 people, and about 10% say no, I didn't feel anything, or only a little bit, but the majority, the huge majority, say thank you, it is better.
Yeah, I have also done the same thing. I'm in contact with hundreds of victims each week, and I could for sure say that this is working, because my response has also been very, very positive, and people's lives are actually changing to the better, because when you are down there in this targeting, it takes all your power to just survive, because it's a terrible technology, and it's really worked out now in perfection to make a human being completely knocked out, and then I mean, and as we recently, there was some news from NSA that was released just in a couple of days ago, that they can also kill a human being from distance without any problem at all, and it doesn't leave any kind of trace. You can't even prove anything about such a murder.
As they did with Hugo Chavez, the president of Venezuela. They induced cancer to him, and it was not a poison, it was scalar waves. They beamed that.
Yeah.
And they attacked a lot of other presidents and high politicians in South America. So I hope they get the message that they shall take homeopathic gold. And it is cheap. That is very good. In the internet it's even cheaper, and in the pharmacies it's not so expensive either. That's really a great thing. But you have to watch out. Don't take it into an airplane. And perhaps you can tell us your story when you went from Stockholm in Sweden to Geneva in Switzerland.
Yes, I was running out of my supply of aurum metallicum, and I didn't know that.
That was before you went to Geneva. There are two different.
Yes. The first time I went low on the supply, completely. So I ran out of it even, and then I was attacked with remote suffocation, and I couldn't breathe, and I woke up in the night, couldn't breathe, and I was blue in the face, and I thought, now I'm dying, but I survived. And
your mother saved you.
Yeah. Now, that was the second time.
Okay.
The second time was when I went from Stockholm to Geneva to have the meeting with the World Organization Against Torture. Actually, the homeopathic gold was going in the airplane with me down there, and we now think that it might be damaged when you take it in the high altitudes, like flying and so on. So it might be, because there I was attacked of this remote suffocation once again, and this one was really severe, and they had to do CPR on me for half an hour almost until the ambulance came, and then I went to the hospital. And I survived that attack too, but we don't know if it was because of taking the homeopathic remedies in in the airplane.
It's in my theory opinion the most likely, because otherwise it is giving a good protection, and it was not when you landed but a day later.
Yeah.
So the pills give a protection shield, a frequency protection shield, around about 1 day or 24 hours, and then it gets weaker, and then the attack came, which led me to the thought perhaps it wasn't made on purpose. It is only that when you take the gold, they tune up the beams and try to break through, and then suddenly when the gold is missing, they don't realize, because it's computers doing it, and then it is too strong, and you get that result. We don't know. It could be done on purpose, but would have been quite stupid in front of all the witnesses when you were in Geneva.
Yeah. It was a terrible experience, but right now I will say again how you should take the remedies. You should take it each morning and every night. You should take around 6 small balls of each potence, both morning and night.
That means 18 together.
Yes. This is, I mean, the direct and the first reaction from me was that, oh my God, I feel almost like my own frequencies got stronger, but they didn't. They just went back to normal again, and then I felt, wow, this is almost like I was before this started, and I felt such a feelings and experiences for the last year when I've been trying the gold.
How is your sleep?
My sleep is very very good actually. I mean, before I took the gold, it was very tough. I couldn't sleep for a couple of days in some periods, coming and going. But
now it's no problem.
No, exactly. Now the sleep is much better.
And dreams?
Much better.
Not the horror dreams.
No. I had it when I woke up, when I went out of the gold, and that night when they woke me up of the remote suffocation, then it was a very very nasty dream, a horror dream. Really, it was terrible. So I think that the homeopathic gold is helping you all through your day and night.
And I have in my family a case where I suspect that the person is not targeted by technology but by demons, which is the old way since thousands of years to make mind control, to possess a body, to overrule a body, a human with demonic power. And there the gold is helping as well.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but
yeah, I made a lot of research there.
Yeah.
But for those being interested and open, the Bible is full of places, text where they refer to demons, and the Quran as well, the genies. So it is that this information is taken out since the last 2 centuries, because those being in charge don't want to know that we know about it. But those who are open-minded and know that demons are existing and perhaps have problems with that, they should also take the homeopathic gold, because it is defending that. I think the demons and the perps here on earth are principally using the same technology, because they need to, if they want to overrule our body computer of our brain.
Well, it's very interesting that you mentioned this, because I read some articles about parapsychological means of weapons that are paranormal weapons, and actually the Russians spent billions on that research, and so did the United States.
Yes, in situ.
So it's very, very alarming actually, because these technologies are almost like, I mean, science fiction or really to the voice of God. NSA called one of their programs, and then you have the Medusa program, which induces stimulates the brain in a way that you automatic actually become suicidal, and you have thoughts about taking your lives, and you don't understand because they can come like somebody switch them on and off, like you just press a button. And that's what they called it, the New York Times, push button people.
In the 70s already.
Yeah, in the 70s already. So this is, I mean, if they spend billions of money into research about parapsychological weapons, I mean, that's an alarm clock ringing here.
Yeah.
Because these weapons are not known to the general public at all. So it's technologies that are way beyond what you can dream about.
Yeah.
They are mind-blowing in all senses.
Yeah. And I think everybody, every TI should individually make research which combination of homeopathic gold is the optimum for them. Start with only one, and then the other, and then both, and then three, and so on, because of course everybody is an individual and has different needs, and the exact combination which you gave perhaps is not the optimum for somebody else. You have to be a little bit flexible. And very important, now they have put in a program in the mind control. Don't try the homeopathic gold, it's only bullshit. I had several answers now recently from TIs coming with bullshit answers, and it was obvious that they had been overridden by the technology not to take it. So don't get fooled by the technology. Try it. It doesn't cost much. And as usual with homeopathic remedies, there are no side effects, because the body takes what it needs, and is not resonating with the other shit. That is a problem if you have chemistry, usual drugs, then the molecules which you put in with the drug have a lot of side effects. This you don't have with homeopathy.
Yeah. Just for something to think about is that, I mean, if the world has spent more money on developing this kind of weaponry, and they started doing this for 45, 50 years ago. My question to people is that shouldn't they have reached their goal by now? Of course they have, and they did it already in the 60s, I believe. And the uninformed consent, I mean, forcing people into programs that is about suicidal studies, research, and so on. Morphology is one big key factor as well, because if you can interfere with your morphology, you can pinpoint a human being and a person's mind quite exactly, and that's a scary thing.
Yeah, do you want finally add some information about the gold protection for targeted individuals and mind control?
No, I think we have done a good program here.
We have touched all the important topics. And finally, my usual questions: can you in the audience be sure that you are not mind controlled? Thank you.
Thank you.